cold, I guess. Let me go ahead and tweet all this stuff out so folks know I'm actually doing something. Tweet, tweet, tweet. Cool. One more place. All the social media, yay. Got to do it. Let me see. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. All right, let me close that tab. Okay. I apologize. I think I'm done with all the tweeting and Facebooking and all that stuff to get me going. It looks like I am live, which is cool. Um, okay, so hi, I'm Joshua. I am. Well, today is January 9th, 2017. Today I am working on my video game Delver. For those of you who don't know, and those of you who might know, Delver is it's a fantasy procedurally generated dungeon crawler game with RPG and roguelike and first-person shooter elements in it. Um, yeah, so this is the gaming's website, delvergame.com. There are two of us working on this project. It's a passion project, so we work on it in our free time whenever we have time. Um, so I am the art half. I also do level design. I also do a little bit of programming. I just kind of do whatever needs to be done on a given day. That's kind of the nature of having a small uh, team studio, whatever. The other half of Delver is Chad, and he is the primary programmer and business guy, and he leads a lot of the design. And that's kind of our roles on this project. Um, Let me think. So I'm excited today because I mean we're working on kind of a dry topic, but I am really passionate about supporting multiple languages for Delver. Right now, Delver is an English only video game, which is okay. And to be honest, a lot of the text you really don't need per se. Um, but I think it would be great if we could support multiple languages. And my current strategy for this is not for us to officially support it, um, but this upcoming update, we're shooting for March, a March update release. We are adding Steam Workshop support. And part of that workshop support, it allows users to make mods, right? To make custom content for the game. And I want to make sure that users are also able to translate the game if they so desire. So this is my efforts in making sure that on our end we handle all the character encoding correctly. I'm also probably going to expand Delver's pixel font. Right now it's a pretty limited font set, but I'm going to probably um, bump it up to cover what the industry folks call EFIGS, which stands for English, French, Italian, German, and Spanish. Um, but those aren't the only like important languages to us. It's just I think if I cover those characters, that gets us a lot of languages. And don't worry, if your language has characters that are non-Roman um, or non-Roman letters, there's a way to have any type of characters. So I will probably make a future tutorial on that. So let's get going. I think my test is because I have a good friend who lives up here in the Seattle area with me, who's a native French speaker. I'm kind of using his brain to help me um, just kind of get the ball rolling. So all the examples you'll see here is just dropping in French and probably really bad French into uh, the uh, the JSON files here. And that's our strategy too, is because um, a lot of our game data is JSON. It should be pretty easy to translate. All you'd have to do is just change this name to whatever it ought to be in your desired language. Cinecron says, sup. Hey, Cinecron, thank you for stopping by my development stream. Okay, and it looks like, so my buddy said for French, uh, these are some of the accents I need to support. So it looks like I missed some. Oh yeah. And if you folks watching are, I'm assuming you're smarter about languages than I am, feel free to chip in if you see me doing anything wrong. I'm okay with it from a technical perspective, but from a linguistic perspective, I'm very uh, not great. Okay, so let me just. I'm just gonna try to build out a list of characters that I need. Okay. Okay, so 43. So it looks like there's 31 characters that I have to extend my alphabet by. Um, hey, Karunix. Hi, friendly greetings. Hey, hi right back. Thanks for stopping by my stream. How are you folks doing today? I think I can actually look at the stuff at the on the character map and get an idea of the encodings. Um, Hmm. Yeah, so here is, I think up was the first 256 or so are pretty standard. Blah, 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 blah. It's just these ones after I need to support. And I might just go ahead and I think my thinking is to actually just support a good chunk of these, so that way like hopefully Spanish and Italian and Portuguese and German are all kind of ready to go. Um, I'm not extending ASCII. Actually, I've converted Delver to read UTF-8, so we can do full-on UTF-8 encoding. And I've done some tests, and it looks like our font system supports that. So I just need to draw the characters, make the font mappings, and everything should work. Yeah, Delver is written in Java. For better or for worse, it's where we're at, and yeah, it's what we're doing. So I guess my concern right now is not that. Let's open UI pixel.ping. This is our font sheet. Let me zoom in a bit and then drop in, say, fill the background with magenta. So I think the problem right now is I have a pretty small font. Let me see, grid size. Let's go 16 with 2 subdivisions should give me an 8x8 grid. Cool. So 8x8 characters isn't a lot to work with. Um, I'm not sure if I should make it 16x16 or if I can squeeze out um, most of these. If I made it taller, maybe if it was like 8x12, that might work. Um, yeah. Gunner Live 12. Hey, thank you for stopping by. Let's see his ligature. Yeah, that's there. Um, so it might be just good for me to, man, there's a lot, a lot of characters. Oh my goodness. Um, okay. What might be handy is if I reorganize. Let me think. If I reorganize my existing one to match up with the just kind of the order that they normally appear. Because right now it's alphabetical, which is nice for me, but it's not super easy for programming. Because programming, they have there's a number, there's a character code for all of them, and maybe it's easier if they're in that order. Let me see. Also, let me take a peek at the FNT file. That's the font definition. Here we go. And it looks like, yep, Unicode equals 1. It might download. There are some tools to help you generate FNT files, so you probably don't have to do it by hand. But it looks like it's possible to do it by hand. Let me see. Yeah, I could just change the height here, and that should be okay. Let's just try that real quick and see if I can make that happen. So I think Pixel Edit might be the best way to do this. Maybe. So I think I can resize tiles in Pixel Edit. Let's try that. So import tiled image. UI pixel.ping open. They are 8 by 8. Import. Cool. And if I go document resize tiles, and if I say the height is 12, what does that do? Sure. Okay, so okay, that should be easy to fix. Interesting. Okay, so Karunic says you can pretty much ignore the uppercase accented letters in French and write them without accent. Okay, yeah. I know my buddy Louis. He suggested that I include them. Um, so that's interesting to know. I think for completeness' sake, I might just try to give a good coverage to all those special characters. So hopefully, that makes it easier for folks to mod in language support. Cool. Yeah, the French keyboard can't write an uppercase action letter. I did not know that. That's funny. Um, okay, so that's resized all my tiles. Let me go ahead and say file, save. Let's oh no, let's file save as. And let's just go ahead and straight up replace it. This is under source control, so if I don't like the changes, I can just revert them. But this should be pixel.ping. Save this. Yep. Let's replace it. Wait. File, export image. Yeah, I think I messed that up. Dang it. Okay, so pixel.ping. I'll replace. Save. Replace. Okay, let's go. I should have a .pixel file in here. I don't need UI. And then there should be oh, that's the wrong folder. UI. Here we go. Yeah, I don't need that one. Let's get rid of that. Let's go to, actually, let's real quick. Let's just see if we can just hand edit this font file. So let's just drag that in there. Let's just select all these. Do Control L, home, and let's just go and change width equal to 12. Save that. Is that right? I added one, so 84 minus 5. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, cool. That looks good. Let me fire up Delver and see what I've done. Dr. Kegel says, can you use overlays for accents instead of additional characters? Well, in the actual text, they're treated as separate characters, and it's just easier to treat them like just to keep it the same. You could do that, but that would be a lot more tricky work. I'd rather just have a range of characters that you need to draw and map to, and that should be it. And I think that makes it easier for folks to mod. Because the ultimate plan is not for us to support all these languages, but let the community translate for the language they think they want. And I'm just trying to help them as much as I can. Yeah, Koreanix is correct. It's a different character code. It'd be a pain. Just I'm just gonna have to redraw a bunch of characters over and over again, but it's not hard because drawing the accents, I draw the accents and then just copy and paste them, and it should just work. Okay, so yeah, so I'm gonna fire up Delver and see how broken the world is. In theory, hopefully it's not broken. Hopefully it's okay. I changed the wrong thing. Joshua. Yeah. Okay. So again, okay, so let's go back to Sublime Edit. Let's do undo, undo. Let's go over here and then make those all 12. I wanted the height. Why didn't you guys stop me? All right, let's do this. Kodrak. Hey, thanks for stopping by. It's going well. Um, yeah. Okay. Advance. Some. Hmm. So maybe I also need to change. Yeah, maybe hand editing this isn't the best. Um, Real quickly, I'll try changing the Y offset too, and if not, I really don't know what I'm doing, so maybe I should. So height is 12, and then Y offset is maybe 13? I'm just stabbing in the dark here. If this doesn't work, then I will go download a font tool and see what I can do. Yeah, expect lots of, yep. Expect lots of craziness until I get this figured out. Okay. So I think there's a program called, I think I installed it called Shoebox. Yeah. Supposedly it works with this sort of thing. So um, I want to make bitmap font. There we go. It's just so small. Auto fit settings. So JKL MNOP QRST UVWXY WXYZ. Then it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Let me make sure I can see all this stuff. Period, comma, colon, paren, dollar. Yeah, these are just, unfortunately, these are just random. It feels like right now. Um, Exclamation, pound. I'm not even sure what we map the hearts to or the key of that stuff. This has to be defined. Let's just see if this is defined somewhere uh, in the text. Maybe not. Maybe we just know what those characters are. So let me just. I have no idea. I'll just use something I know we're not going to use. So say caret, question slash plus minus single quote space caret 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U V W X Y Z. 12? 0? Applied? Yeah, I've never used Shoebox before, so this is me trying to figure it out. And it's doing weird stuff. I'm not quite sure what it's. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's identifying the characters correctly. Um, there we go. That looks a little bit better. Oh, it also looks like it's packing them for some odd reason. Not quite sure why, but okay. I'd rather it not do that. Maybe let me go look at the. um, Kodrak says, Joshua, why do you mess with the font? I love it. Well, I'm looking at extending the font to support multiple languages. So part of the upcoming work um, for the next Delver update is adding full Steam Workshop mod support, which we're really excited about. And I'm seeing this as an opportunity to also allow people to mod in different language support. So I'm making sure that on our end, we can make the modder's life as easy as possible. So I'm looking to add characters not found in the English language. As a general heuristic, I'm targeting what they call EFIGs, which is English, French, Italian, German, and Spanish. Um, Again, not that those are the only languages that are important to us, but those I think if I cover all the characters found in those languages, that'll get me a lot of the Romantic languages. Um, and don't worry if your characters for your language doesn't fall in that set. Um, Hopefully the stuff I'm figuring out now will help me create a tutorial. So if you want to create your own custom fonts for whatever, that definitely should be possible. Yeah, I started at 11. So today's a bonus stream. Let me close this out. Let me find a better way to slice this up. Um, yeah, so today's a bonus stream. I right now my son is at the nannies. Hopefully that's working out. We had a stay-at-home nanny previously, but she ended up not working out. So this new nanny, he goes over to her house, and she has two kids for him to play with. So hopefully this is good for him to develop good social skills, and also it gives me a little bit more time to work on Delver, which is really cool. So libgdx custom bitmap font. Let's look up that stuff. There's a wiki page for it. Cool. Uh, um, Let me see. Let me just put this out here so folks can actually see what I'm reading, so it's not a mystery. I'm trying to figure out the best way. So what it is as an experiment, I have gave myself some more room vertically. Excuse me. So hopefully that gives me enough room um, to draw all the accents for some of these characters. But also, hopefully, it helps me figure out how to kind of resize the font and make sure that when you do that, things still work. Right now, I'm getting it's not working, and it looks kind of hilarious. Um, Let me see. Oh, I had not considered showing mod content today. I was going to do that. I was going to do that normally on my regular stream. The bonus streams tend to have less viewers, and I'll just save up all the content for Sunday. So if you're working on a cool mod, um, just go ahead and email me the stuff before Sunday, and I will play it and talk about it on my regular Sunday development stream. Um, so Delver is built using the libgdx framework, which is a framework built on top of the LWJGL library, which gives us bindings for input and um, OpenGL context and audio and stuff like that. So we don't use LWJGL directly, we use libgdx, which has some nice, helper functions and stuff for us to work with. And sorry if I sound groggy, I'm still sick. I think I'm pretty sure I have a sinus infection, so I sound like death. But I'm not feeling too terrible. Okay, so these changes were not correct. Oh, oh, Joshua. Yep, because yes, let's try this. change the height back to 12, but then I have to go in here and all of these need to be, I need to increment all of this stuff as well. So this is 0, so instead of being 8, this, all of these y offsets here need to be 12. Okay, and then all of the, oh, too much. All of these offsets need to be 24. Okay, and then make sure I got that right. Yeah. Then starting here, all of these offsets need to be 36. Okay, and so on and so forth. Sorry, manual editing data isn't the most sexy of tasks, but sometimes you do find yourself doing it. And that's why I prefer, right now I'm using Sublime Text, is because it has pretty decent multi-line editing. So 36, so this would be 48, which is 12 times 4. And this one needs to be 12 times 5, which is 60. Now let's go back to Delver and see what kind of chaos we can make with that. Okay. libgdx. Yeah, no problem. Whoa, it looks like it's working, right? This is readable. Everything is a little bit too low. So I need to figure out how to offset that, but that's looking better. Because even though each character is 12 pixels tall now, I want them to only take up 8 pixels worth of space, if that makes sense. So how to do that? I think on this website I was looking at, there has to be a spec. Yeah, a file format spec for the font file. So this is the original spec. Let me see what that says. Okay. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, no, yeah, Kodrak, you're correct. Like, I never expect, like, if I do something perfect the first time, I am highly suspicious that I actually got it correct. I feel more comfortable when I incrementally, step by step, get there. Okay, so for each char, there's a char ID, there's an X position, a Y position, the width, the height, the offset. So it looks like I have the offsets okay. X offset, Y offset. 9. So let's see what happens if I play with the Y offset, because it says that's the offset. The current position should be offset when copying the image from the texture to the screen. And right now it looks like the Y offset was the old height +1. So let's try the new height +1 and see if that yields what I want. Actually, this is the wrong editor, so let's go back to Sublime Text and let's select all of our character mappings. And then Y offset 12. Looks good. Save. Actually, 13. Why didn't you guys catch me? And let's run that. Okay. It's still off. It's not quite correct. That is that even is that worse than it was before? Let me undo that change. Actually, let me set the y offset to 0 and see what that does. I'm just gonna play with these values and kind of see um, how they work. Interesting. That looks closer to being correct. So let's say the y offset was 2. Yeah, because right now this is definitely feeling like magic a little bit. Looks like I need to go to one more, so 3. Um, I have purchased you. I guess I haven't activated this copy. Sorry, folks. I do I do buy my software, um, but I don't feel like copying pasting my key on my screen because that would probably not be great. But yeah, I do own Sublime Text because it's a wonderful text editor. Okay, that looks correct. Let me actually pop into game. Actually, I'll play a little bit just so you folks can see what Delver's all about if you're not familiar. And also, let me see. Let me adjust my chat screen. Ba, 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 ba. Just kind of make sure that whenever text appears, it looks correct. So that looks right. That looks like it's not too. I'm just worried, like, let's see if you get one of these notes. Yeah, that looks good. That looks correct. Yeah, I'm just making sure that the line spacing on the fonts looks about right. And I'd say this does look correct. This doesn't look all squished or stretched. Light worn iron dagger. Let me see. Kodrak says, would you be able to make modding a bit more easier, but not too easier, especially with the coding stuff? What do you mean per se? With Delver, you don't really do any coding. You just edit JSON files. Oh. Yeah, let's go ahead and use that. Well, it's worn, so it's probably not going to last terribly long. Actually, let me keep my dagger around just to smash open stuff. So I don't break it. I guess one of the issues I have, though, is for some odd reason, we're using, I think, the libgdx JSON support, and I think for some odd reason they don't support, like typically when you write JSON, the object properties should be quoted, and for whatever reason the library doesn't support that. So, which is kind of a bummer because if they did, you could just use a JSON beautifier to verify that your JSON was correct. That's my attack. And some gold. Okay, there we go. Trap. Where do I need to go? This way, it looks like. Oop. Dead end. Yeah, so Delver is procedurally generated, so I don't always know where I'm going. Some of the rooms are hand-built, some of the rooms are made by the computer. Yep, so it looks like all that text is still working good. I think I'm fairly confident with my changes that that I haven't goofed up too much. Oh, people are on fire. I don't know why they're on fire, but they are. Okay, let's just end this fool. There must be a fire trap somewhere because yeah, all those folks were on fire. Okay, 2 gold. And this fella. Yep, that's an explosion trap which occasionally sets people on fire. Nice. Short bow. Ooh, interesting. I've never seen the generator make something like that. I assume I can get there. Yeah, so I can get there the other way. Yep, and folks, I mean, we are still in the process of wrangling our procedural generator for the rooms. Sometimes it makes rooms that aren't passable. We are aware of that issue, and we are working on fixing it. Okay, so that is the first dungeon. It looks like I haven't messed up the font too bad. Oh, I didn't even test. I have my one item with French in it. Let me see if that actually looks correct. Um, Whoa, that is way bigger. Um, hmm, that doesn't seem right. Maybe maybe something isn't quite right. Um, but it should be Malay 1. Yeah, so that, for some odd reason, it's not picking up the characters correctly. Oh yeah, because I probably didn't save it. If I remember, is it in the actual? Okay. So let me real quick. Let's copy that, paste that there. Um, I forget what the character is called, but it is that guy. So let me try to just draw that real quick. Again, if you're a native French speaker, please help me out. I really apologize if I'm brutalizing your language. So let's try that. File, save as, nope. File, export, image, save, replace. Cool. If I remember correctly, that's the character ID on that is 233, I think. Um, this should be 80 because we're moving over 1. That looks all great. And let me bump up the character count to 52. Let's save that. Let me run it and make sure and see if that actually picks up. Oh, cool. Yeah. Koreanix, that's awesome that you're native French speaker. Very, very helpful. So yeah, so please feel free that if I'm making uh, so that was not right. That was not right. Yeah, all my E's now have accents, which is funny. Yeah, so if um, yeah, for the native French speakers, if I screw things up, please let me know. Don't I won't take it personal. I'm trying to make this as good as I possibly can. So I want to be as correct as I can be. Yeah. What did I do? Why do they all have? Oh, I know what I did. I know what I did. Um, what happened is because I'm using Pixel Edit, um, it's treating all of this as I imported it as a tiled image, and it assigned tile IDs to everything. So what happened was, instead of copying and pasting the tile, I made another instance of the tile. So when I edited this one, I actually edited the original E. So if I actually look up here, see this E has an accent now. So if I just go ahead and erase this, and then so this E is a normal E. This E has an accent. File, exports, image, save, out. Now, cross my fingers, it should work. Yay! I think that looks correct. And also, like, please scrutinize my pixel art. Like, I'm not sure, like, if because if the accent needs to be more flat or more curved. Again, the input is very much so appreciated. But yeah, so Ape, I think is correct. Nice. Okay. And again, I just Google translated that. That might not be 100% correct. But yeah, sweet. Okay, so um, I have updated my pixel font. It's still not 100%. I might try playing with the offset a little bit. I've also updated my font file. Um, so that seems to be working relatively well. Um, uh, bu- 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 um, Now I need to basically figure out the entire range of characters I want to support, and then uh, I guess do it. It looks like at least for French, we might have to add like 30 some odd characters, which is cool. I want to just go ahead and just add as many as I can and try to plan that out correctly. So I think I need to figure out, pardon me, what range of character IDs I need to implement and just implement. Choco Bundy says I have to go back and add the accents to E's in the Delaware title too. um, I don't think, yeah. So for you native French speakers, do you actually localize names and titles of things? I thought most languages just left that alone. Kirby says I recently bought Pixel Edit, and I must admit that changing sprites is slightly more complicated than it needed to be. Um, I think Pixel Edit's fairly easy to use. Feel free to like if you have any let me know what problems you're having with it, and if I know how to help fix your problem, I'll let you know. Because yeah, like feel free to ask me questions about my game, but also feel free to ask me questions about game development, programming, art in general. I do know a little bit about localization. That's why I'm taking a stab at it. By trade, I'm a software engineer, and I have worked for um, large corporate enterprises, and we have handled localization into multiple languages. So it's something that I've done before, at least helped with the effort. I can't say I've done the whole thing before, but I think at least has given me enough, I guess, false courage to try it. Okay, so Unix is asking my question. So my question was, um, in French, do you translate the names of things like brands and products, or do you actually keep it the same? Yeah, so No Agree says German would need four more letters. Yeah, so that's my plan is to try to identify the characters I would need to support English, French, Italian, German, Spanish, Portuguese, and try to get all those characters in the base set of Delver. So that way it's easy for folks to translate. But um, also, hopefully, if you watch this stream, you can make other fonts too. It shouldn't really matter. You should be able to replace it, or you should be able to extend this font to for whatever character sets you want. Yeah, no, it would again if somebody translated this into Russian, it would be amazing. I don't speak Russian. It's well beyond my capabilities. I'm just trying to get the stuff on our side set up so that we can support it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to for the mod, you could translate the title, but I think, I guess for our purposes, for brand purposes, it's better to keep it the same. But yeah, cool. So that's good. Range. Okay. Ba, 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 ba. So if I look at the character map, I'm not even sure how useful this is. So I think this would be okay. I think, is that hex? Programmer hexadecimal 21. Decimal is 33. Is that the first thing? 65. Oh, because that's an A. Right, right. Yeah. So we do have an exclamation point somewhere in here, right? Yeah, we do. Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that should be okay. So I need to support range 33. Oh man. Maybe to here? I don't know. Like maybe I'll start with just the French characters and I can kind of finagle things around as I need them. My buddy Louis Carl, I can't say it correctly because I'm an English speaker, but yeah, Louis Carl, he provided me with um, the characters he thinks I need to extend Delver with. So I'm just gonna go from there. I'm gonna assume that he's correct and uh, kind of just go. So let me order these two. So it looks like they're roughly ordered, like as I would expect. Can I? Okay. Um, Let me see. So chat says sometimes yes, sometimes no for translating brands of things. Okay. Um, potentially you could do it. You could replace, I think, pretty much all the assets in the games through modding, so that would be possible. Um, so Creepy says, yeah, Pixel Edit is easy to use, but when you get used to it, it has quirks. For example, it's easy to clone sprites, but in order to select a new sprite to edit from the tile set, you need to index them and pick the sprite index instead of the tile on the tile sheet. You can just control click, right? So, um, like if I wanted to add, so if you look at the index, this is 112. So if I right click to copy and then I left click, this is also 112. But if I control click, it adds a new. Uh, so yeah, so I need to left click and then control click, and that makes it a new instance of that. If that's helpful or not, I don't know. Um, uh, Kodrak, it looks like there's a couple of Discord servers. I'm not sure if you're coordinating with the other person on the Steam forums. Um, but yeah, I'll let you community folks figure out how that's going to work. Okay, so first things first, let's get my English correct. Um, and also, I need to figure out what characters we're actually mapping some of this craziness to. So pound is, let's see what the ID for pound is. Blah, 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 blah. Looks like 34, is that right? Clear. 35. Okay, so let me find 35. So this is character 35, pardon me, and um, that is our pound sign. So we have a heart and a half heart character. So that's 60 and 62. So what is that? So decimal, I say clear 60. That's hex 3 Charlie. So hex 3 Charlie. What's a less than and um, greater than? Interesting. Okay. Um, that is a way to do things, I suppose. Yeah, yeah, no, glad I can help Kirby. Yeah, no, like that's a true thing about any tool is there's a bit of a learning curve. Um, yeah, okay. So I'm not so sure about punctuation. Like I don't know if we need all of it. But I'm just gonna start reorganizing my. Yeah, no, my buddy Louis, he said that that OE character is an old-timey character, and it probably is not going to be needed. Um, but yeah, it's I think it's called a ligature, and it lives somewhere. Yeah, right here. That guy. Yeah, a lot of this stuff I'm just have to copy out from the character map. Okay, so um, let's do this. So some of the stuff we have mapped to crazy things. So I need to make sure we don't mess that up. Okay, what's the best? Oh, can I maybe a second? What's the best way to reorg this? Mm, Joshua. Alpha2244 says Delver's a good game. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Um, that's very kind. I appreciate um, the folks who the community around Delver is fantastic, and thank you guys for being guys, gals, and other folks. Like, thank you for being so supportive, and um, like I get to do what I love to do because of you guys. So, sorry, I keep using the term guys, but I just really mean people. Um, so thanks. So it needs to go. I guess I can just copy them down here, then copy them again. So let me push that over on that side. Zoom out a little bit. Also, let me add another layer underneath, and let me just add a magenta because, um, okay, bucket, and there we go. Now we can see what we're doing. Okay, and then on this side, I want to have, yeah, this character map, just so I know kind of the ordering to use. Kodrak says, "What do I use for painting? What sort of painting do you mean? Um, like if it's like hand painted stuff, like World of Warcraft, I typically use Photoshop. Okay, so back to my tile thing. So there's a double quote. We don't have double quote. Let me just skip that. Pound. Yep, wrong layer. Pound, dollar, percent. Do we have percent? I guess I don't. Ampersand. I don't have ampersand. Um, wait, I screwed that up. So it needs to be, yeah, dollar, percent, ampersand. Single quote uh, needs to go two after dollar. I do have parens, so that's nice. Um, yeah, yeah. I think it's what my friend Louis said. He said it's an old timey thing, but you still may run into it. I'll still go ahead and render it and make sure that it's there. Maybe other languages use it. I don't know. I'm just trying to cover my bases as best I can. Print asterisks. Okay, asterisks. We don't have asterisks. Okay. Plus. comma, dash. Looks like period or full stop. How wide is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. Okay, it's 16 wide. Okay, that's not a crazy thing. Yeah, actually, my buddy Louis, he's from Montreal. He's Quebecois. And again, I apologize for all my terrible languages. Yeah, I'm working on multi-language support for Delver. So it's important. It's important to me. Well, I mean, on one hand, I think it'll help it sell better, which is, I mean, I guess I want it to be successful so I can keep making games. So I mean, it's kind of greedy, but it's kind of like trying to survive. But also, I think I think it means a lot for people to be able to play something in their native language. Um, Full stop there, and then start with 0. Okay. It looks like Artistical Lefty says, "What inspired me to be a developer, if you don't mind me asking?" I don't know. Even as a child, I've always wanted to make games, and before I was was able to program, I would still make little like board games and stuff. I don't know. I've always just enjoyed. I've enjoyed play, and I enjoy the kind of the I guess I have a fairly uh, I'm an engineer by trade, so I am very, what's the word, analytical, but also so I like solving puzzles, so that's part of that. But also, I don't know, it's just something I've always liked to do. When I was very young, I was fortunate that my father worked IT, so we always had a computer in the house. Um, we don't have a semicolon. No, no. Okay. And then I think we use less than. This might be the equals. What is equals hex? 3 delta. Yeah, so growing up, I always had a computer in the house. And some of the earliest games I played were actually QBasic games. So QBasic Gorillas was the first game I played as a child and realized that, pardon me, 61. Um, that video games weren't magic. That with QBasic Gorillas, you actually had to load up the source code and hit F5 to run it, and it created it. And that's when my little brain, I think at the age of like 8, figured out that all this text was translated into a game, and it was kind of downhill from there. Let me see. Whoa, whoa! Looks like sweet. There's lots of people in chat now. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Uh, hey, Gavin, thanks for bringing all your folks over. That's very, very kind of you. Unfortunately, I'm not doing anything terribly sexy. I'm doing localization. So I'm working on adding multi-language support for Delver. So if that's your jam, yeah, welcome. Um, oh my goodness. Thank you for the support, Gavin. I appreciate it. Um, um, Kodrak says, "Where's Chad? I want to see him." So Chad and I actually don't live in the same physical location. Chad lives down in San Francisco. We usually meet up a few times a year, and we chat several times a week. But yeah, so um, I stream because frankly, because somebody needs to talk to the community, and I stepped up to do that, and I'm glad I do. I also think that it happens to be that art's a little bit more digestible for folks. Sometimes programming can be very dry. Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, the burst of chat is cool. Yeah, so feel free to talk about game dev, ask me questions about what I'm working on, my game specifically, or actually maybe just play my game since we have a whole bunch of new folks in here. Let me play my game. I'll talk about it a little bit, and but yeah, this is kind of just a chill channel to talk about game development, programming, art, whatever. So yeah, welcome, folks. Yeah, so this is Delver. This is the starting area. Delver is a procedural fantasy first-person dungeon crawler roguelike RPG thingy. Delver is a passion project, I would say, because there are two of us working on it. We do it in our free time. Um, we have no budget and no time to make it, so this is all like uh, it's a labor of love. We are on Steam Early Access, so if that's a thing you guys are interested in, um, oh, I typed it wrong, sorry guys. So we are on Steam Early Access if you want to support us that way. That's cool. If you're not into Early Access and you'd rather wait for us to be full 1.0, also cool. I totally get it. We should be hitting version 1.0 sometime this year. That's kind of what my streaming is about, is kind of help me get into a good regular development pattern to kind of focus down, get stuff done, talk to the community about what they want. Oh yeah, Fire Wand. We'll load these guys up. Um, yeah, so this is kind of what this is also about. Yeah, another Fire Wand. I will take it. Um, she's gonna get me. Get back, crazy lady. It's tough. Yeah, see, the font's still a little messed up. Speed. Let me see. Yeah. What else? But yeah, so there are two of us working on it. My name is Joshua. I am the art guy. So I do all the 2D art, all the 3D art. I do a good chunk of the level design. Um, occasionally I do programming. If it's something I'm passionate about, I will just take it up and work on it. So for this past update that came out in December, we overhauled the archery, and that was kind of me driving that and making sure that our archery was good. Chad kind of came in and shored up a lot of the code, just because he wrote all the code, so he understands it way better than I do, so he can kind of clean up my code and make it work better. Crap. Um, but yeah, so mostly I stick to art. But for example, today I'm working on multi-language support because that's important to me. So again, um, we're a small team, and I can just do it because it's important to me. Unfortunately, that kind of puts for this update, I've kind of given us a little bit of cushion as far as release management planning. So we're trying to shoot for a March release date, and I've tried to keep the number of things we're working on to a minimum. I say that, but Steam Workshop support is kind of a big thing for us. So that's what our update's focusing on, and I'm focusing on allowing the mod support to actually support translation and different fonts for languages. Yeah, don't get me. Yeah, if you notice that my dagger just broke, so let's get rid of that, because once your weapon breaks, it's pretty much trash. Okay, well, I guess I can knock open the boxes with the broken dagger. That still works. Not ideal. Some arrows. Okay, so hopefully this gives you folks an idea of, pardon me, what Delver is all about. So feel free to ask me questions. Again, everything from art, programming. I love procedural generation. I love, obviously, I'm into roguelikes and fantasy stuff because I mean, you don't stick around a project for 3-4 years if you're not totally into it. Let me see. So yeah, so the bushes in the overworld, Chad created a so again, that was an engine enhancement. So now we have breakable sprites, and that was just a way to test that so you can smash the bushes. It's not Minecrafty because you don't craft anything and you don't mine anything. It's more like Daggerfall or Ultima Underworld meets Doom. Um, yeah, the explosions are one of my favorite things for the Fire Wand. The game is written in Java. It's built on the libgdx framework. Yeah, so by trade, I am a software engineer. I got a computer science degree. I worked for both Lexmark and Microsoft as a software engineer. When my son was born, I decided I wanted a break, so I'm a stay-at-home father right now. And I'm trying in my my free time to make Delver, get it finished and get it delivered this year. So yes, I am a programmer also. The reason I stayed sane working on it, Delver for these past 3 years is I would write software all day, and then I would come home and I'd switch my brain over into art mode, and that helped me not burn out by having different things to work on. So Slot says this looks great. Thank you. Yeah, I'm the again. That's very kind to hear. It's my job to make it look as good as I can. Yep, the levels randomly generate, so they're different every time you play. Um, Yeah, yeah, no problem. Especially when I got a big dump of new folks. Yeah, I don't mind demoing it at all. Um, yeah, so Chad's been working on it 4 years. I've been working on it 3. Um, he started posting the alpha builds about 3, 4 years ago, and I found them and on a forum on DigSource, and I started replacing the art assets, and he liked what I was doing. So he put out the Android version with his programmer art, and he made enough money to pull me on his contract to start replacing the art properly, and eventually he pulled me on as partner. And about 3 years ago, we got greenlit on Steam, and we've been trying to finish the darn thing up. It went from basically when it got greenlit on Steam, it went overnight from a fun hobby project to a second job, which is cool. It's just now that people have paid us money for it, it certainly changes the way I approach things. Say Nympheus says the last time I watched, you were experimenting with the first traps. How far have we gone with the trap system? The trap system is crazy now. Um, Especially in the ruins area, I have a way of defining like trap. Like I can combinatorially combine traps to make these interesting trap rooms, but they're only really expressed in the ruins area. I could do more. Let me just show you that real quick. So let's go. Nope. Too much coffee makes me click too fast. So let's actually, for those of you who don't know, also when you purchase Delver, we give you the editor alongside the game, so you have all the same tools that we have to make the thing. So, for example, if I load up, say, file, open, and this is unfortunately, this is a shortcoming of, I don't know what causes it, but in Windows, the level editor, when you get a modal dialog like open or save, it always pops up behind the app, and we can't figure out how to get it in front. And we've read all the docs, we've tried all the stuff, and it always pops up behind. So if you're using the Delver editor, you have to Alt Tab if you're on Windows. If you're on Linux or Mac, it works just fine. So it's bizarre. So generator, undead. Let's do intersections 2, and let's see what that looks like. I guessed wrong. So let's look again. 1. Wrong again? Or no? Yeah, so what's happening here is so this is a 4x4 this room, if you notice, it has a 4x4 grid, and it can choose between having monsters appear or traps appear, and the traps are defined as either a 2x2 inner or a 4x4 outer, and they can kind of combinatorially combine that way. So like you have these crushers, ceiling crushers with these outside spikes, and again these little spike towers in the middle, or or these guys. These are crazy. Yeah, so so the editor is pretty quick to use, pretty easy, and it has the instantaneous play mode, which is nice. Um, yeah, so let me see. Yeah, the blade trap's pretty cool. Um, yeah, no, I'm really grateful that I get the time to spend with my kid. He is right now he's at the nannies. He is not quite 9 months, so he's really tiny. I'm also fortunate that my wife can support me right now because Delver doesn't make a lot of money. It makes some, like I can afford Photoshop and stuff like that, but it doesn't pay the bills, unfortunately. So I'm trying to put more effort into it, try to get it finished up, and maybe work on another project, or maybe keep working on Delver, whatever is financially viable for me. Yeah, stay-at-home dad and free time don't really work. I thought I'd have so much more time after I left my job, but I have roughly the same amount of time. So it is basically a full-time job. Um, I do my art with a tablet. So I have just an ancient Wacom tablet that I use. Uh, I bought it, like 10 years ago. It still works great. Um, I can use mouse. I use my mouse for 3D modeling. That seems to work better there, but for like my pixel art, it's easier, it's more natural to use the tablet. Um, so Choco Bunny says, "Is there a possibility of a second sword swing animation in the opposite direction?" So sort of. I've thought about this. What you can do is you can define custom animations for weapons, and you can define what frames do hurt. So I was thinking of maybe in the future adding a very special weapon that does like a double attack, which would be possible, but it would be very powerful. So I'd probably make it like a unique or special weapon. Let me see. Kodrak says, "Can you make the open level and save level window all just the editors have a simple window?" Um, da, 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 da. Yeah, not really. We rely on the native file dialog there. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, you can edit everything. So the story is just basically a series of notes that kind of get populated. You can edit that to your heart's content. So yeah, so actually I'm also working on, so I'm doing the language pack for the mod support, but I'm also making a mod. What I'm doing is, I'll show you the art here, is I'm working on a mod that basically tells the story of this gray wizard who went into the dungeon for some reason and perished. And I'm going to try to tell his story through finding his gear and little bits of notes and other things. So this will be a mod that you can add into Delver. So to kind of expand it out and add a little bit more character to it. I'm also going to use this as an example mod for folks to follow. So hopefully people can tell little stories by creating stuff for the characters. You won't play as the character, but you can certainly find their gear and kind of play as them that way. It's just an idea I have. Hopefully folks latch onto it. We'll see. I can't force the community to do anything. They do cool stuff, and I just kind of try to support it as much as I can. No, so Delver is permadeath. So once you die, you go back to the campfire. You get a new dungeon. Blah, 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 blah. Yep. Let's see. I think I've caught up on chat. Sorry, lots of talking. Yeah, cool. So let's go more stuff. Uh, yeah, that's great English there, Joshua. So again, I'm just going to go right now. I'm just copying over characters from the character map, making sure this is all good. And I think this is the equal sign, and I think this is the other the greater than sign and question mark. Do we have an ampersand? Oh man, it's a roguelike and we don't have an ampersand. That's tragic. We might. Let me see. Ampersand is hexadecimal 40, 40, which hex 40, which is decimal 64. Do we have ID equals 64? We don't. Okay, so we don't have an ampersand. Okay. So then after that, we start with the letters. Cool. Sorry, drunk devs. It looks like I had like a bunch of people come in, and I think I'm shedding viewers. Sorry, it's not super sexy, but I appreciate the folks who have stuck with me. Yeah. So again, a lot of game development isn't like whenever you watch like programming sequences in movies, they make it look really sweet. but in real life, it's like data entry. It's kind of menial, and it's just work. And a lot of times, it's just having the knowledge and rolling up your sleeves and doing work. Did I goof something up? Looks like um, Nymphia says I selected uh, at and not ampersand. I don't think I selected either. Oh wait, did I? Oh, no, no, that's right. Um, yeah, I think I selected the right thing. Let me see. Thanks, Gavin. How are you, by the way, Gavin? Sorry, I don't have as much time to like stalk you on social media. Um, yeah, the Curiamana. Yeah, like we've tried everything to make this darn Java file dialog thing work, and yeah, that's correct. And we just can't get it to work. We've tried everything. Um, it's a weird mixture of Swing and AWT, and people are like, "Don't do that," but we're kind of like in a corner now. So yeah, it's unfortunately it's something we're living with right now. I'd love to fix it, but right now I'm more focused on getting the finishing up the darn game. And Niphius, if I misspoke, I apologize. Sometimes my brain and my mouth are doing different things. It's taken me a while to get used to streaming while working, which is a cool thing to do. It's just it, it's not a terribly natural thing to do. I've been streaming now since last July, and I've done every Sunday, uh, pretty faithfully. Um, which is crazy because it also like I streamed on Christmas and I've streamed on vacation, because I am dedicated. Um, yeah, so let's just real quick, let's just drop the prints as brackets. I can just touch them up really quick because they're super easy to do that. Sweet. Bracket. Nope, that's wrong. Slash the other way is what that needs to be. So this bracket needs to go there. This needs to go there. Yeah, in Pixel Edit, you can tap X to flip in the X direction. You can tap Y to flip vertically. So that was a nice quick little thing. Pretty sure I don't have caret. Um, Underbar, pretty sure I don't have underbar. I could just do this and then grab the O tool and just pull it down. There we go. Nice underbar. Um, this is a tick mark. I'm not quite sure what it's called. Um, I'm just going to put in the single quote the other direction, call it good. Okay, so let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I goofed. So I don't have caret. I need to leave a space for it. So let me see. Whoa, Gavin, you're living in Chicago. That's cool. That's awesome. Congrats, man. Yeah, yeah. No, I am. If you ask my wife, I am the worst multitasker in the world. So it's been a fun, challenging experience learning to work and talk at the same time. Whoa, Cuttigan's here. Oh my goodness. So Cuttigan is Chad. He is um, the guy behind Delver. He's the main programmer, the designer, business guy. Everything I'm not, he is. Maybe that might be. Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah. So again, multiplayer is something that we cannot do for this project. We are committing to making the best single player game that we can. Um, People always ask about multiplayer, and because this is a custom engine, it's something that we would have had to plan for and account for at the very beginning. And 4 years into a project is not a great time to do it. Um, yeah. So I mean, I apologize if I sound harsh, but the reality of the situation is for two people working on this in their free time, like we can't afford to delay the project another like 3 years, right? So if someone was to edit the font tile set and add colors to the characters, it would come through to the game. Yep, it certainly would. You have to be careful about adding colors to the game. Like you notice here, like this one thing right here has a grayscale to it. That's actually the health bar. But if you add colors, we tint colors. So like um, for like special items, we tint the color of the font. So if you add color to the font here, you'll get the color will be strange because we do color multiplication. So it's best to keep your fonts white. We also add the little shadow effect too. So just I wouldn't add color to your font. Blah, 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 blah. So article lefty is telling me Asinokina comes from the Hawaiian alphabet. Cool. Um, so friendly NPCs. I don't know. Like people have suggested it, and it could be okay, but maybe not. Like we do have the shopkeeper you find. Um, right now, I'm kind of hesitant to add friendly like NPCs that walk around because right now everything you encounter in the dungeon uh, is an adversary, and mixing that up might make the game a little bit more. I don't know. Like I like how it's kind of pure right now. Like it's pretty straightforward. Let me see. Cool, Nymphius. Gotta go for a family thing. Yeah. Take care. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Let me see. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, I think if it's everybody against you, I think that makes it easier to understand the space. Like, if there were some friendlies and some not friendlies, I mean, I don't know. It could be. I could see it both ways. You know. Cool. So after this, okay, let's do it. This, that, that. Let me zoom in real quick and just fix them. Okay, so this needs to be something like that. That'll have to work. Then let's do. Cool. Oh man. Now we get into some characters that I'm not super great at. I'm not sure if that reads as well as it ought. Um, what if does it read better like that? Or if I did this maybe? That might make it a little bit more readable, even though it's not quite. Uh, it changes the sizing a little bit. It shouldn't be awful. Blah, 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 blah. Mm. Yeah, so C Charks says more friendly spaces. And yeah, right now So you play 2 levels, and then we have an interstitial level. So like there's the shop and the frozen area. So those are kind of places to give you a break. Um, and in the case of the shop, there is a friendly NPC there. Um, let me see. So looks like tilde, space, and inverted exclamation. So I can really quickly do inverted exclamation by grabbing exclamation and going over here. I think it's, yeah, that should be correct. Let's flip it vertically. Let's drop it there. Let's grab the offset tool and pull it down. There we go. Um, yeah, so Karma Yoru. Okay, so um, yeah, so let me see. I've been streaming for hour and a half. Let me just kind of catch everybody up who doesn't know. Hi, I'm Joshua. I'm working on my game Delver. Delver is a procedural generated dungeon crawler, roguelike, first-person shooter thing. Um, I am one half of Delver. I'm the art guy. I do 2D, 3D art, level design. I also do community management. I also do project management. Since we're 2 people working on this in our free time, we all wear lots of hats. So today I'm working on multilingual support, which is important to me. Um, if you can bear with me, I need a quick break because I drank too much coffee. So let's just do my old thing here. Let's go to documents. Let's do text equals new. Too much coffee. Time equals, let's say, today. And I'll be back at how about that timing? Okay, let me see. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, let me just play a little bit again. I know I demoed it a little while ago, but I always like playing my game. It's cool. So let me just play this for new folks. Let me see. So the Delver splash screen is basically it's a very, very hacked up version of the Delver engine that only shows the opening splash, and then when you hit any key, it exits the game, and it's super hacky. It takes some command line args, and that's about it. Um, cool. Yeah. So again, I'm Joshua. I live up in Seattle, Washington, in the United States. So for those of you who have noticed, I put the hashtag French in my stream, and I'm not trying to trick people. What I'm doing is I'm working on multi-language support. And for me, my test case for this is French because um, my good buddy Louis Carl, he is Quebecois and he is a native French speaker and he lives near me and he's a developer. So he has totally, I've either coerced him or he's volunteered to help make sure that I get the whole language support stuff right. So my plan is to get the language support um, on the Delver side of things working as well as we can, and then what it is modders will be able to translate the game into any language they like. And I'm using my friend Louis as a guinea pig to make sure that things are in fact working correctly. So uh, too many bad guys. For example, like my little test thing here is just a upgrade the debug menu, melee. I have a little an iron 8-bay. Uh, so that was like my test case. And my test case was is I'm able to create this item. I'm able to add it to my inventory. I'm able to so like add it to my inventory. I can escape. I can quit. I can reload my game. And when I go look at my inventory, it's still correct. So this represents the creation of a Unicode asset. Um, it represents the saving of a Unicode asset and the reloading it again, making sure that things are still the same. Um, Fortunately, like um, my dev streams get people from all around the world, and I love it. And that's why I'm really pushing to get multi-language support in for Delver. I think it's important, greedily because I think it'll help make us more money, which means I can hopefully get to a point where I can sustain myself and like not starve. Um, so yeah, um, kind of back to work now. Um, no, chat shader. What? I want a character map. There we go. Let me see. And that's the Insane Monday says too many bad guys. So yeah, that's kind of the with procedural generation. Like sometimes you get dungeons that are kind of empty, and sometimes you get dungeons that are just like insanely hard, which I think is okay. It's always nice to have a different experience every time you go in. Oh, thank you. Artistical Lefty said follow me and my game on Steam. Yeah, so yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you can purchasing the game on Steam directly supports us in our efforts to make the game. Also, following us, talking to your friends about us if you think this is something they would like, helps us. Because we're two people making a thing, like the biggest battle for us. Well, the first thing is to make the best game that we possibly can, and then to get it in front of as many eyeballs as we can. And we both are software developers by trade, so the marketing and promotion thing is kind of hard for us. It's something that we're learning on the fly. Okay, so I need to. Do I care about these characters? Like cent, pound, Ewan. Uh, I don't think I care about all of this. Degree, no, no. Acute accent, I don't think so. I think I'm just going to go ahead and jump to. Yeah, none of this. I think I'm going to go ahead and I think I'll jump to the inverted question mark because that's I think that's needed for Spanish support, and I'll just start from here going forward again. So again, I can select this tile and pixel edit. Let me see where my question mark is here. And you can hit Y to flip it on the vertical, and I also need to I think flip it horizontally. Yep. So I'll plop it there and hit O for the offset tool, and then I can just pull it down. Cool. All right. Let me see. So Unix says, "I love games you're not expected to win, like FTL." Yeah, I mean, you like if you have internalized the systems, the game is definitely winnable. Sometimes the game is pretty hard on you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This should be the AE ligature. This needs to be that C thing. What did we call it? It's a Sadia. Then E's. I need 1, 2, 3, 4 E's. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 I's. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me see. The KU022 says, thanks for all the hard work you're putting into it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. It's always nice to know that my work is appreciated. Um, Insane Money says, I like the variety of the game. Makes it hard to choose each run. Yeah, yeah. We're trying to add as much variety as we can. I would rather keep the length of the game the same, but just keep adding more variety, more options for you to deal with. Um, uh, yeah, no, I do care. I want to try and include as many characters as I can. That's reasonable. Just for the base Delver game, and then people can extend it as needed. Cool. Zoom out a touch. So it's 4 eyes. This D thing, what is this? A capital letter F. I can make it. I don't understand if I can make it. That's a problem too with making pixel art for characters and languages I don't understand. I might not include important parts. So please, again, the native French speakers on my chat, please feel free to correct me when I'm messing things up. This is a capital Inye, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 O's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 O's. A multiplication sign is thrown in the middle there. Okay, I don't know if I need that. I don't even know why it's like that. O with a stroke. I guess I can do that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 U's. 1, 2, 3, 4. Y with an acute. Again, I can do it. And I know this is German, so I'll include it. I'll just right now I'll just plop down a B and I'll modify it to make it correct. I think it's a double S if I remember correctly. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 A's, lowercase A's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need the AE ligature. Again, this is going to start looking similar. A C. 1, 2, 3, 4 E's. So Korean says the Sevilla is below the letter, so I'm in trouble. I think with the font definition file, I can actually move stuff up and down. Um, we'll see. Yeah, so I think I can do it. Otherwise, like for example, like if you look at the English letter Y, I mean it's supposed to have a descender, but I just bump up the whole thing. So we'll see. And I didn't leave any space underneath it. We'll figure it out as I go, and you guys can correct me. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm out of space. So let's go ahead and extend this tile set. Actually, I think some of these old characters that we don't even use anymore, like this potion and this key. Chad, if you're listening, can you correct me if we still use these two characters, the potion and the key character? I think I can go ahead and let me delete that and then pull all this up to give myself room again. Got it. There we go. I think that's correct. Cool. No, the empty slot right there is for the multiplication sign. I'm not sure if I need it. Um, so I thought Chad was, yeah, Chad is viewing. Also, he watches my YouTube archives too. So sometimes I'll say something in stream and like a day later he'll get back to me. Sweet. Thanks, Chad. Appreciate it. Um, yeah, and if I need to like for this, is it Cedilla? You can just use the offset tool and you can just drag it up. Um, and we can cross that bridge when we get there. So where was I? All the I's. Um, a little O. It's an F. I'm curious for what language that is for. Ba, 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 ba. So apparently I said Cedilla correctly at one point in time. uh, Again, I apologize for my terrible French, and I really appreciate you folks who are native French speakers hanging out with me and making sure I'm doing things correct. One, two, three, four, five O's, right? One, two, five, two, three, four, five. Um, Division sign and a small O with a stroke. Da, 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 da. One, two, three, four U's. Yeah, Curry Unix, that's exactly it. I can bump it up in the actual bitmap, and then I can lower it again, I think, in the font definition. I have here on the right is the actual that's the spec for the .fnt file form or font format, and I'll refer to that. So Chad is probably going to like um, die, but I'm actually modifying the font file by hand and not using a tool. 1, 2, 3, 4. A Y with an accent. Y. There we go. Ba, 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 ba. A thorn letter? I don't know if I need that. I'll do that one. And if I'm leaving out important characters for other languages, please let me know. I think somebody asked me what I use to stream. My streaming setup's pretty basic. I just use OBS, and I just have a very simple scene set up with my webcam pointed at me and my stuff in the background. And then I'll have a couple scenes to toggle through where I can little Joshua. Where was I? Okay, this. So are these important? I don't know. Let me again refer to Louis' cheat sheet. Um, ba, 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 ba. Because yeah, I don't want to do work that I don't have to do. Um, but I want to have a nice font set so that people can easily translate. Um, yeah, no pressure, Chad. Like if you don't feel like streaming, it's not for. I mean, I get it. I mean, it's fun, but it takes time to do. Like, if you watch some of my archives, my first few streams are pretty darn rough. Yep, no, Koreanix, I did plot the characters for Inye, both capital and lower. I think they are there and somewhere. Uh, yeah, so Inye should be there. And did I miss the lowercase Inye? It is in these weird, no. Oh, I did miss it. How did I miss it? Um, it's before all the O's for the division sign. Yeah, it looks like I goofed and I missed it. Thank you for catching me. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I messed up. Let me fix it real quick. Okay, so what I need to do is before these different O characters, I need to add the inye. So let me just make a selection and just scoot all these over, and then go back to my tile tool and then grab the lowercase n and then for inye because that's important. Let me see what else. That's a lot of characters. Let me see. Um, so I think I have all the way up to, I should have all the way up to where? Um, oh no, I've lost my place. I have all that. I skipped some. Or am I even, it's still the right font. Okay. So all the A's, the O's, the E's, Inye is what I just added. And then I stop here. Division, O, U, U, Y, Thorn, Y. And they're getting into some of these. I said this, the French speakers still need the ligature OE. Um, it would be interesting to try to stream together, but it would be challenging because we are geographically distributed. So let me just go ahead and real quickly, just here on the end, I'm going to add a space for the O and the OE ligatures and see if I can make that work. Um, did I leave myself room for the A and the A? Yeah, I think I did leave for the AE, smaller AE. Okay, let's start there. Let's see what I can do. So my plan is to create another layer above this one and then add the accents there and just kind of copy and paste those as necessary. Yeah, so the grave and the acute. Okay, so let's do this. No. Hand tool. There we go. And it looks like, yeah, it's just kind of a, it starts here-ish. I think for that E, I had done something like that, and I'll do the opposite for the acute. And again, if folks, if these shapes are wrong, let me know. Okay, grave acute, um, circumflex. Okay, let's do circumflex. And what's next? A with a tilde. Okay. Hopefully that's readable as a tilde. Um, Diaresis is what it's what it's wanting it to call it. Let's just do something like this. Okay. And a ring. Okay. Again, I'm sorry, like this, I feel like I'm just doing this totally blind. But yeah, and this actually touches the letter, which should I have it touch it or should I give it space? I don't know. I'm not sure what's correct here. Guidance chat? Yeah, Retro Nova 10. Yeah, no worries, guys. So again, if you folks are interested in making mods for Delver, a couple things. We are working on adding proper Steam Workshop support. So if you go to the Steam forums for Delver and you look at the modding subforum, Chad has put an open call out for modders who want to help us, kind of be like partners in helping us figure this whole thing out. So if you want to go and respond to his thread there, we are looking for folks to help us get this stuff figured out, and we would love to have your mods available day one when the update comes out. Okay, so the next one needs to be the AE ligature. And I didn't leave myself a lot of room, so let's do what we can. I might need to thin out this letter quite a bit because I think, yeah. Let's just start with that because a lot of the characters in Delver are pretty wide, just to get that nice chunky pixel feel. And I may lose some of that, but I guess I mean, that's just going to have to happen with some of these characters. Because 8 by 12 is not a lot of room to draw fonts, but I'll make it work. So so the A needs to lean, and then we have an E. Let's do this. Pull that one over that way. Give myself some more room that way. Hopefully that's serviceable. Okay, now I need to make the cedilla. So again, this is kind of a weird shape, right? It looks like an upside down question mark. How would you French speakers describe this little accent underneath the C? So Coderex says, is it possible to have so I can place 3 altars and have to find items to place on 3 altars to trigger spell? So um, I'm not sure if we have triggers set up for specific items. Chad would be able to better answer that. Because right now, most of the triggers just involve either a player or an enemy or either stepping into it. Okay, so pull this up a couple. Let's give myself as much room as I can. So it looks like uh, looks something like, oh goodness, like that might be close. Yeah, it's a little hook underneath. I can go up one more. Let me see. That seems too big. Hopefully that works. Hopefully that's close enough. Can you have 3 triggers trigger 1 spawner? Yeah, so triggers just work by name. So you can give the spawner a name, and anything can trigger that name. So you can have multiple things trigger one thing. Um, the thing is they won't require all 3. Just whichever one fires will trigger it. Okay, so now we have. I think I can start copying and pasting stuff. Hopefully. So with this, I can just kind of copy over the grave and the acute and this little, what do they call it? A circumflex, I think. Yeah. And then the diuresis. And then similar for the eyes. Here we go. Diaresis. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about this Eth character because I don't know what language uses it, so I'll just leave it out for the time being. Apologies if that's your that's important to you. Um, okay, Enye, and then again, if it is important to you, please let me know. You folks can always contact me on Twitter at Joshua Skelly. You can contact me personally on my personal email is joshua.skelton@gmail.com. I will do my best to answer you within a reasonable amount of time. O with a tilde. O with a diaresis. This is no hand tool. This is an O with a slash. So I need to modify the character. Let me pull this over one. Yeah, it's gonna be tricky to do. Yeah, maybe I need to not do the. And then maybe I can offset it. Actually, I don't even know. Again, I don't know which language uses this, so maybe let's not spend so much time on it until I actually know if it's needed or not. So I'll just blank it out. So Cur Unix. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's so the Cydia. I'm kind of close. If it's really bad, please let me know. Um, ba, 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 ba. Okay, so I no multiplication sign, no O with a stroke, but we're going to go to the oh wrong. So back to my X. Let's just real quick. Let's rename these. So edit settings. These are characters, and then these are the accents. And this is the ugly background. Cool. So back on my accent layer, grab the grave, the acute, the circumflex, the diaresis. This looks like it's a Y with an acute. This is that German double S. So if there are any German native speakers, please speak up. Otherwise, I'm just going to try to do my best, and then I'll come back and fix it as needed. I think it's important that this is not attached. Man. Okay, so that's hopefully that is sufficient. Again, if you're a German native speaker, with all of these languages, I do apologize. I'm trying to do my best to do them justice, but I'm not a native speaker, so I can't claim perfection. So grave, acute. I'm seeing the pattern here now. Circumflex, tilde, diaresis. Ring, I think is what they called it. Yeah, and then this needs to be the ligature. So let me go real quick. Let me grab my offset tool. O for offset, and let me just pull these down so they fit a little bit more nicely above the So that one's actually separated. Okay, and now, oh goodness, let me offset this. Wait, it's a character, not the accent's a character, like that, and then let me do my best to get this looking okay. I think it's serviceable, hopefully, maybe. Okay. This is the, so yeah, I need to bump this up again. I think three at offset, 3 characters for the Cydia. Come back to the accents. Let me grab it from here. Nope, nope, accents. What did I do? Undo. So I didn't put the Cydia on a separate accent layer, so I'll just redraw it. Fortunately, it's not terrible. Not terribly hard. Maybe I'll shift it over one to make it look. Is that correct? It's just centered, so I think that hopefully is okay. Yeah, so I don't know if I can do all the Russian font, but hopefully I can. So hopefully folks watching this stream can figure out how I'm doing it. Also, I hope to have put together a tutorial to kind of cover how to make a language pack. But mostly it's making sure that you have a pixel, a bitmap font, a font definition, and then you have to go through all the items and translate them. And as long as it's UTF-8 encoding, it should be fine. QWRKY, so Quirky Quirk says, hey, Joshua Skelly, I was wondering why out of nowhere Delver just started updating again. Is there a reason for that? Yeah, so the reason we took a year off is because it's kind of personal, but I was working full time for Microsoft, which is stressful, and the project I was on got canceled. It got moved to a couple different teams, and I no longer liked what I was working on, which made it really hard. I like the people I worked with, but the project I was working on, I had no passion for, so it made life really hard. Also, my wife and I were wanting to get pregnant for a long time, and we couldn't. And then all of a sudden, she did get pregnant, and we were overjoyed and terrified. And trying to hang on to my day job and support my wife didn't leave a lot of room for Delver. So unfortunately, that fell by the wayside. And fortunately, Chad was very understanding, and he fully supported me taking the time to for my family. But now my son, he's 9 months old. He's healthy. He's happy. So back in July, I really started hitting it hard, trying to get this thing finished up. Also in July is when I started streaming to let you folks know that we still are working on it. I apologize for being quiet, and I'm trying to keep everybody looped into like what we're working on now, where we're headed in the future, and kind of our thoughts. I love getting feedback from you folks so that to make sure that we're working on the correct thing. Oh, thank you. No, that's excellent. No, that's actually super helpful, and that's very it's very similar to my font too. So can do. Yeah, just like that. Just one little pixel off. Thank you very kindly. I appreciate the help because I need it. I do need it. Uh, so, is it Grave Acute? circumflex, diuresis. Looks like the same treatment for the I. Need a tilde for the N. Yeah, again, like I kind of feel bad relying on you folks to help us out, but you know, again, the truth of the matter is we're two people um, working on this, so any and all help we can get is super, super appreciated. Is it me or those O's look misaligned? Yeah, I think when I copied and pasted this row, I think I messed things up. So let me go to the characters and yeah, let me make a selection like this. Then Control T to transform that selection. I think I need to bump it to the left one. And there we go. I think that is better. Okay, so grave, accents, circumflex, tilde, diuresis. Then I put a space for some reason. That's a division sign. Strike through O. I decided that I'm not going to do strike through O because I don't know the correct use case for it. Um, I'm not even sure if I should leave space in this font or not. Maybe I should take out the space. Um, so let me see. So Kodrak says he's hanging out. So yeah, thanks for stopping by, Kodrak. I appreciate it. It's always good to have folks come here and hang out with me while I work. Retro Nuvo says, what project was I working on in Microsoft? Yeah, so I'll talk about that. So um, I was on the Visual Studio team, and I initially got hired to go work on the HTML blend product. So for those of you who recall, well, actually this expression blend still exists, um, and it is it's like a program for designing um, UIs. So it's a very front end. It's like a vector UI front end design tool, and it's really cool because you can do animation. And I got brought onto the sister team of that for HTML, which I was super excited about. Like being able to do the thing I was so excited about was they had a CSS animation tool with a timeline like keyframing, and it was beautiful, and you could like really do some nice sophisticated CSS animations with it. And you still can if you can find the HTML blend tool. But I'd say within a few months of me being there, they decided to no longer put development effort into HTML blend, and then they cut it. And then I bounced around from team to team. Well, not really team to team, but like our team kept changing focus. So I was on um, the Java for Visual Studio or JavaScript um, support for Visual Studio, and that wasn't super fun. Like working on Visual Studio proper, it's a big product, and it was just like again, the folks who do work on it are awesome. It just was not an enjoyable experience for me. It just wasn't something I was into, and it made it really really tough. Oh, okay, I think that's a lot of them. Um, so then I got moved to a tool working on Visual Studio tooling for Apache Cordova, which is a little bit better. And then I got moved to a team that was doing, we were just making NPM tools for developers, open source, which is super sweet. Um, but after being on that team a while, they realized that they couldn't monetize open source very well. So I got shifted to a team working on tools for Visual Studio Code, which is also really cool. But then they shut that team down for similar reasons. And then I ended up back on the team that was working on the JavaScript for Visual Studio, and I thought, well, this is probably a good time for me to leave. The thing is like, I mean, the way Visual Studio is written, like there's some concepts in there just that were very C sharp specific and very strange. Like it took me a while to get used to like the Meth framework and the GAC and working like pulling on dependencies that you can't necessarily track down and you can't necessarily guarantee a certain version. It was odd and and also like the culture of Microsoft is I don't know it didn't sit super well with me. Um, it's very competitive and I was used to working in a more collaborative environment. Um, and also like having a kid, it's like really hard to put in the hours necessary to be successful. So where did I leave off at? Oh, these are for the ligatures. That's why I can't find them. So yeah, so the OE and the OE ligatures. So let's do that. But yeah, no, I still like Microsoft as a company. I think they're doing cool things. I think they're trying to find their space in this new kind of landscape. Um, and it's my experience. Like the experience you have, very heavily depends on the team you're on and the product you're working on. And if those don't really, um, align well for you, it's tough because the work you do is difficult. Um, so if you don't, really love what you do, then it makes life hard. And that's I guess that's one of the takeaways is I guess I realize now that if I ever work on it like a team or product again and that basically kills the thing I came to work there for, that I'll probably just in future just leave and not put myself through the kind of like the I wouldn't say torture, but I really put myself through like a tough time. I think unnecessarily. Cool. So that looks like I think that looks decent. That's so before I forget, let's save this. That would be good to do. Export, image, save. Yes. Okay. So now, unfortunately, poor Delver is going to be confused because we haven't. So we updated the bitmap, which you can see above my head, but we've not updated the font definition file. So it's just going to map all kinds of craziness. Um, oh no! Oh, yeah. Oh, and I need to get rid of the magenta. Okay, let's do that. So here, let's turn off the ugly background and let's save it out. Actually, no, and Creatix is saying I messed up the eyes. Yeah, so the eyes are not supposed to have. Oh, I guess I again, thank you for catching me. I messed that up. So the little eyes are not supposed to have. Um, yes. I I I I missed that. And usually I'm pretty good about details like that, but thank you, thank you, thank you. And then let's go to the accent layer and let's just bump all those down. Okay, I think that looks better. Thank you, Creatix, for catching that. Okay. Yeah, that was just a simple copy and paste error. Like I was just in the whole like, let's just throw the accents, the graves, and everything. So file, export, image, save. Yeah. Okay, so now what we need to do is um, we need to fix our mappings for our characters. Um, okay. Okay, so this might not be this this might be gross, but let's do it. Um, so I think let's look at our font. That's not our font. Pixel Edit's our font. Let's turn back on the ugly background. Let's turn off. We don't care about the tile indices. Let's look at this. make sure we're chopping stuff out correctly. Yeah, C Shark says this is the fun part. This is where, yeah, okay. Let's just go back over to Sublime Text and let's. So what I need is to copy this because this is the first character at x equals 0, y equals 0, and it's height or width 8, height 12, and but it's not ID 65. Looking at the character map, this is the exclamation point, which is hexadecimal 21, which would go to our calculator and drop in 21 for hexadecimal. It is decimal 33. So this is 33. Cool, Chad. Thanks for stopping by, man. Have a good lunch. Let me just put this over to the side and see if I can kind of just. Oh, view no word wrap. So 34 we skip, 35 we need to increment the x by this should be 16. Okay. And this is 33, 34, 35, 36. And that needs to be 24. Yeah. So I am the art guy for Delver. Hi, I'm Joshua. You just missed Chad. Chad is the original creator of Delver. He's the lead programmer. I do all the 2D, 3D art. I occasionally do programming, but only on things that I'm super passionate about. So right now, multi-language support is something I'm passionate about, so that's why I'm doing it. Also, I do community management. I do release management. Like we're two people working on this game in our free time. So we have no time and no budget. So this is a labor of love, and we do what is necessary to get the game made. Um, lots of learning the hard way, but you folks have been very kind and forgiving. So that is definitely appreciated. So the next character I need is. Um, is this single quote or should that be double quote? It's actually, let me just go ahead and add in double quotes. Why not? There might be use for this. So 34, x offset of 8, and that should be double quote. So I can just real quickly just go in and draw double quote because that shouldn't be hard. Come on, hand tool. So let me just go to my character layer. Let me grab the single quote. Let me drop it there. Let me offset it by 3. One, 2. And then let me just quickly paint in another one next to it. Boom. Look at that. Okay. Pound, dollar. Oh, I guess now that I have room for it, I can certainly add the little, kind of clean up the dollar symbol a little bit. I don't even know if we use dollar to be fair in Delver. Oh, thank you for the compliments. Yeah, I love pixel art myself. Uh, that's why I obsessively do it, I suppose. Um, and it's very kind of you to say. I try to make the best pixel art that I can. And I think I'm moderately successful, so it's always nice to hear kind words. Oh, I lost my slash. Where's my slash at? We could do that one and we'll just flip it. So this should be 4%. Might need to tweak it a bit. Yeah, I need to thin it up just a little, just a touch. There we go. Ampersand. Oh, this one's going to be weird. Let me start with the number 8. Let's see if I can make that work. This might not be the right way of going about. Actually, let me do the other way. Let me do the ampersand, but it's the et. It's the I think there are alternate ampersands, and as long as I can get one to read correctly, I don't care. Let me see if let me just try. Let me just kind of bungle my way through it with you folks helping me. Yeah, I definitely kept the characters cute on purpose because I was worried that if they were realistic, the game would be way too dark. And I want to keep this game as light as I can, just so you don't get like fatigue from like murdering lots of people. And also like I have a son, and I want him to be able to see my game someday, so I don't want it to be like super gross. And I show like my family, my grandma. So again, I try to keep it clean, you know. Um, Again, I don't I have nothing against violent games. I just spending as much time as I've spent on this, I'm glad it's light. Um, yeah, ampersand. Um, yeah. Mm, oh man. Oh well, that's gonna have to work. Um, um, yeah, I'm just gonna have to call that good. I can't spend all day splitting hairs over this. So let's push on and hopefully it's okay. So are there any other things I'm missing that I should have? I guess I can put the asterisks. Again, I don't know if we particularly need it, but I can do it. This should be on the character layer. Let's just do something like, and that is good enough. Plus, comma, dash, dot, slash. There we go. Good enough, especially for characters I might not be using, so I don't want to put a lot of effort into it. Okay, so 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. There should be offset of 32. This should be character 38. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Offset 40. 39, 48. 40. So this top row should be, um, it should be decimal 33 plus 16. So it should be all the way up to 49. So let me just go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, in home, home, 41. And then this needs to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you see to increment all these. So that should be 56, 64. Let's see if my math is good. Let me not chance it and just go ahead and just make sure I'm doing this right. So 48 plus 8, 56 plus 8, 64, 72, 80, 88, 96, 104, 112, 120, 128. Okay, that's the first row. I think my ampersand will be fine. I'm just gonna let it go. Yeah. Okay, so now that's the first 16 characters. Those are the next 16. But what's important about these is, so 49. I'm just going to add spaces for the time being to help keep myself organized. But these y values need to be 12 because we've gone down a row. But the x's can stay the same, which is good. Home. This is 12. And then now I just need to increment all these. Actually, it should be 50 something, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 60 something. Just to verify, the ending character should be 66, which I don't have an ending character, so maybe 65 should be the question mark. So 65 decimal is 41 hex, and that's not right. What did I mess up? So it starts off with, so this one ends, and that's 30 hex, which is 48. So I'm off by 1, it looks like. Off by a lot. How did I mess that up? 1, 2, 16 across. 33 plus 60. 49. So I guess it's off by 1. So character ID 48 is 0, is that right? Hex 30 is in fact 48, so that's right. Okay, there we go. So then I need to make sure that this, I need to fix all this stuff in. Let me just, crap. Okay, let me do this. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Let me just select all this. Let me do a multi-line edit. And let me just copy all that. And then go down here. And let me just paste all that. There we go. And then these last two are going to be separate. Okay, so let me just verify. So 49 should be 1. 31, yeah, that should be right. Hex 31 is 49, and then the ending character, I feel like a question mark is 3F, so hex 3F 63. Yes, so that's looking correct. Um, yeah, in real life, I just use the plus symbol instead of ampersand because it is difficult to write. Um, yeah, no, pixel art, like art in general is just practice. It's just, well, it's practice, but also, um, it's like learning. Like you practice, and then you study how other folks do stuff, and you try to figure out, you try to dissect their art and figure out what makes it interesting to you and what makes their style unique. So it's a combination of both. Because I mean, practice is great and all, but if you just keep doing the same thing over and over, you're probably going to keep getting the same results. The character after that, oh, the at symbol. Of course, we need the at symbol. This is a roguelike-ish thing. So let's do this, that, and then I think I'm gonna use the one that's similar to the one on my, yeah, just do something like that. Done. Boom. Okay, and that should be 64. Oh, the decimal 64. Pardon me. Which is 40. Yep. Look, it's all looking good. Okay, just a heads up. I need to leave here in about 10 minutes to go pick up my son from the nanny. So if you have any last minute questions, comments, concerns, please ask them now before I go. Um, I'll probably try to continue working on this and get it in a workable shape after the outside of the stream. But I want to thank everybody who has helped me so far, and ask questions if you got them. If not, I'm just going to keep on plugging away. Okay, so 64 is good. That's all the way up to the ampersand. Um, Let me just delete these and let's copy all this, paste. Um, Home, and these Y needs to be 24, and this one needs to be 12. That could have been bad. Um, the X's are correct. I just need to increment all these. My son is 9 months old, so right now um, he is not into coding. He is into just normal play. And honestly, I try to keep him away from TV screens and computer screens as much as I can, um, because frankly, he has the rest of his life to be in front of that. So right now, I'm just trying to keep it simple. Cool. So just to double check. So 65 should be alpha, and then um, 80 should be papa. And let me just verify that. So 65, 41. Yep. And then uh, 80 should be 50 on the. Yep, looking good. Any visual novel game recommendations to play? I'm not really big into the novel genre, and not because of any particular reason. I guess I'm not really, I've not been exposed to it very much. Um, so let's see. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be a cool dad. Like I think I fear I'm going to be kind of strict. But yeah, I just I want to be a good dad. I just want to encourage him to be like to kind of pursue the things he's into. And if they're not the things I'm into, whatever, like that's okay. Um, Let me just real quick copy this and make it into a carrot. because that's pretty darn close. I don't know if we need a caret, but we got one. And that's the grave, so let me go ahead and fix that. Oh, yeah, I have noticed sometimes in Pixel Edit, my layers menu will disappear at times, and I can't tell you why that happens. But I notice that sometimes if you expand and um, uh, collapse and expand, this comes back. Um, yeah, I don't know. Okay, cool. So let me do the next row. We're slowly getting there, folks. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Let me see. He needs object permanence to learn about object-oriented programming. Probably. Yeah, he's getting into object permanence. Um, like if I walk around a wall, he'll go look for me. He knows that I'm behind the wall, which is cool. Um, JCWMM says, what program am I using for character mapping? Um, right now, I just have the Windows character map up, and then I am uh, in Sublime Text. So this is the .fnt font file format, and there are tools to do it, but I'm just doing it by hand because I'm kind of a grognard, and I haven't found a tool that works well enough. Um, um, like Shoebox supposedly does it, but I had a hard time making that work correctly, and it crashed on me. So I'm just doing it by hand. I've had some success doing it like that, so whatever. I could edit text all day. So let's do this. Let's go Control Shift L, and then we need to update our Y. Should be nope. 24 plus 12 is 36. Joshua. Okay, then here 36, and then this needs to be something like 80. 1, 2. The nice thing is these are consecutive, so it makes the editing pretty quick, but there is a spot where I do jump. Um, okay, so let me verify. 81 should be Q. So decimal 81 is 81 is hex 51. Yep. And then decimal 96 hex 60, which should be grave. Yep. So things are going well. Let me see. Oh, nice. So Retro Nouveau says it's a clay urn. Very cool. Very cool. What you might consider doing is faking some lighting. Like I see you have a lip at the top there, and you have some lighting on the inside, but maybe on the outside bottom of the lip. Kind of do that as well. Um, yeah, I think it's a good start. It looks like you got things unwrapped and exported correctly. Um, So Kurunix says, I always wanted to try pixel art. Maybe I'll do it if my game development isn't abandoned before needing graphics. Yeah, sure. I encourage people just to learn art, and for any discipline really. I think it helps, even for analytical types. It helps. I don't know. It changes the way you think, and it helps you communicate with people who are art oriented versus logic oriented. Um, Um, so if you follow me on Twitter, you notice I'm trying. So for 2017, I've challenged myself to do something creative every single day of 2017, which is pretty. That's pretty. What's the word? Um, Ambitious. Um, and I've already. Well, I guess I failed, but I don't view it as a failure. I've already missed one day. I was sick. My son was sick. Didn't do art that day, but I've been doing art. Of the 8 days of this year, I've done it 7 of the 8 days, which is not bad. Um, and I challenge people just to try to get into a regular daily like art um, habit. So if you have like any free time, like you're commuting on the bus or train, or you have like an hour in the evening when you're watching TV, feel free to just draw. It's pretty easy to do. All you need is paper and a pencil or a pen, and just it's something that you just if you make time to do, I think you'll be rewarded. Um, for this first month, I'm going to do all pixel art. I think next month I'm going to do low poly art. But yeah, I think I'm going to call my stream here. So again, hi, I'm Joshua. Goodbye, I'm Joshua. You've been watching me work on my game Delver. If you want to know more about Delver, you can visit the Steam forums. You can visit our Facebook page. I've been trying to get that going, mostly because there was a Facebook page out there that wasn't us. So I'm trying to make sure that we own that. So um, I try to post stuff here. If Facebook is your thing, cool. If not, no sweat. So there's that. You can follow me at Joshua Skelly. You can follow Delbert itself at Delbert Game. And yeah, again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Tweet me at Joshua Skelly. You can email me, joshua.skelton@gmail.com. I'm happy to help. I love seeing the stuff you guys make. It's awesome. Thank you for your financial support. Thank you for your mental support. Thank you, you native French speakers, for correcting me and making sure my cedillas are correct. Thank you so much. Have a good day. You folks are simply the best.